Okay, so new tutorial for today. It's been a while. It's been a week or two. I've had some other business, other things to take care of, but still, I'm back now, and we'll see what we can do for the future. Now, what I'm going to do for today, I was sent an essay by a student. They found me on Facebook, and they want me to comment on their essay, which you can see here. So that's what we'll do, and I'm going to go through it through some of the criteria, mainly cohesion, coherence, and task achievement, because there's obviously some grammar and vocab mistakes here, but there's a few equally important things that we have to have a look at too. Now, when I first got this essay, it wasn't separated into paragraphs as it is now. Now, this was typed, I think, on a this was typed, I think, on a mobile phone and sent to me in a message on Facebook. So I'm not sure if these are the paragraphs or not, but this seems a logical interpretation. So, anyway, let's see what we can see. So this is a question. Now, this question is from an IELTS book. I'm not sure if it's an official Cambridge book or not. I think so. It seems a rather strange question. Fatherhood ought to be emphasised as much as motherhood. The idea that women are solely responsible for deciding whether or not to have babies leads on to the idea that they're also responsible for bringing the children up. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay. So, do we agree or not that one idea, they're solely responsible? Well, I'm not sure if that's true. They're also responsible for bringing the children up. Okay, so they're asking, do we agree that women are responsible or solely responsible? Is there a role for fathers in this? Okay, do we agree or not? So, interesting question. Now, because it's to what extent, as I've said in other videos, we don't need to write a balanced essay here. We don't need to look at both views, both sides of the coin, as it were. We just need to choose a side and say yes or no and give a couple of reasons why. And that's basically it. Now, there's a structure. I'll just show you it here. There's a structure that I like to use for to what extent. So usually, sentence 1, every question type, you paraphrase the question, restate the topic. Sentence 2, what do you think? Because the question says, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So it's asking for your opinion. Then sentence 3, we need an outline. In other words, what are you going to say in the essay? So good, strong, clear introduction always helps in the essay. Then in paragraph 2 and 3, your topic sentence, your main idea, explain it, give a more specific example. As I've mentioned before, lots of people make something up because as long as it's plausible, it doesn't matter. Nobody is going to check it, you know. So people go down the research route. A recent survey by the University of, a study by the Department of blah, 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 in 2015 said that. So a more specific example. Now you can put a concession if you really want, or I think it's better, reinforce the example or your main idea. It can also be a summary. So we've got that logic. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to that. Same for paragraph 3, body paragraph 2, main idea, explain, example. The conclusion should be a mirror of your introduction, essentially. So in paraphrase, you need to restate the question, what you think, and what your two main ideas were. What you said, in other words. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So, introduction. A family is a simple word with vast meaning inside. Okay. It comprises of father, mother, and baby. Father, literally the income source. Now, as we see, there's some grammar here and vocab. I'm not going to go through that and change all of those because that will take a while. Hard-working person facing a hardship in, outside, integral part. A family, whereas mother, a homemaker, house engineer, a basket of love and emotion. Oh, a symbol of aesthetic and pure love and integral part. A family. So, this introduction, it doesn't really introduce anything. All it's doing is giving a definition of a family. What is family? Okay, but the question is, do we agree or not that women are responsible for bringing up the kids because they decide to have them on, or not? Do we agree with that? So this introduction doesn't really introduce anything. It's just saying what is a family, essentially. Okay, so on to paragraph 2. A family is nothing but a combination of father and mother's love. Well, that's basically giving me another definition of a family. Every single decision in the family depends on both. Now here we're starting to talk about both sides. Both of them has an equal right to say yes or no. A baby is a vital one, should be no grey area. So both should decide mutually. So this paragraph is talking about both parents should decide to have a child or not. When a baby comes, it imparts heavenly feelings like an angel. A whole family becomes colourful within a moment. A smile begets a smile. Well, okay. So this is talking about how both of them should be responsible, but still, I can't see. So there's no clear opinion in this introduction. I can't see it. I believe, I think, in my view. I can't see it. Now, this paragraph seems to imply, though it doesn't overtly state, it seems to imply that both people are responsible. So that would suggest that they disagree with the statement that it's a woman who's responsible. So this would, as I say, this would seem to imply in a very roundabout way that they disagree. But again, we don't want it roundabout, we want it explicit. Spell things out. What do you think? What do you mean? So, but there is a bitter truth. Oh, looks like there's a contrasting opinion here. Again, though, it's not a discussion essay, so we don't really need that. So still, rearing a baby is one of the toughest jobs. Both partners should be dedicated to 24/7 caring and maintaining. Okay, yeah. So that's basically talking about, so this is talking about both parents should be involved in the raising of the child. Okay. So parents should be mentally, physically, financially what? Okay. So no one can make decisions alone like everything else in life. It must be upgraded. I'm not sure what this means. You can't update this from Google. I'm not sure what this refers to either. We have to update this from our views, values, surroundings. Women are not lagging behind. They're at the same pay. So this seems to, in a very roundabout way, say that, so this one's talking about women and men should be involved in the decision to have a child. So they disagree with the statement, and this seems to be, they disagree also because they say both parents should be involved in raising the child. Okay, so we do have some opinion, but again, the examiner is not going to be wasting time trying to interpret what you say. They want things to be clear, unambiguous, spell things out. And also, there's no examples. So no examples. Every essay says, write 250 words and give reasons and examples. But there's no examples in these paragraphs. No specific. Well, I can't see any examples as such. So now, again, look at the conclusion. A mutual eminent decision. So we have something like an opinion. I believe a mutual eminent decision will come out as a basket of love. I'm not quite sure what that means. As respect and mutuality in decision worth eternal. So I'm not really sure what that conclusion refers to, but it doesn't paraphrase the question. So we have something that's some opinion about something. So we've got some grammar and vocab here. Quite a lot of grammar mistakes, in fact. Task achievement, well, it doesn't address the question. There's quite a lot missing from task achievement. And also there's no examples. So the task achievement part for this would be quite low. Coherence, where everything's restated, it's clear firstly, then secondly, and finally, where everything's connected. Where your main ideas are expressed here and here, 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 and here. It's just not there. So I don't want to go into the marking in detail because that would take a fair bit of time, but they would be lucky to get 5. 4.5, maybe 5 for this. Because there's quite a lot of things from the 4 criteria: lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, coherence and cohesion, and task achievement. This would not do very well at all. Now, let's have a look at an example. Now, I wrote this a minute or two ago. It's not very good, but it's just to illustrate what you should be aiming for. Now, I did plan this. I keep saying you have to make a plan, but I just wanted to put some things down so I could show people, and this basically came out of my head while I was thinking and typing. It's just to give you some idea of what you should be including in an essay. So you've seen the structure: paraphrase, thesis statement, outline statement, the topic sentence, etc. I'll put these files on my blog so you can see them. Or if you want to copy them, if you want to pause now and take a screenshot or write these down, you can do so. So let's have a look. So, introduction then. So sentence 1, you've got to paraphrase the question or topic. Now, I found this question to be a strange one. I hadn't seen it, but maybe it's a real question. I don't know. But it can be argued that the father's role should be recognised as equally as the role of the mother in parenthood, and that as women decide to have children or not makes them responsible for the child's upbringing. So this is basically a paraphrase of that, more or less. Okay. Clear opinion. I disagree with this idea. Why? Because I will argue that scientific evidence, which I shall invent, shows that children benefit from a stable environment with both parents present. So that's main idea 1. Main idea 2, in this modern age, it's increasingly common for men to show responsibility for their children. Now, that's what we'll be talking about here. But you don't have to say too much about it in the introduction, because you are going to be spelling things out in paragraph 2 and 3. So, main idea 1, thesis statement. Firstly, although the decision to have a child may be mothers, it can be said that a child will certainly benefit by having a father's involvement. Okay, so main idea. Okay, that is to say, and I'm explaining this now, all research into this subject in the field of sociology shows that a child with both parents in their lives will be more successful in school and in later life. And I made up this example, but no one cares. For example, a study by the University of Massachusetts in 2015 showed that over 85% of high school graduates in New York came from two-parent families, and that over 60% of criminals, teens, came from single-parent homes. Now, I made this up, but it would be fair to say that it's pretty common knowledge. You know, any research that you care to do suggests, like it or not, that many criminals in their teens, or many people who drop out of high school, come from single parent homes or families. Whereas most people that graduate, of course there are exceptions, but in general, you know, the correlation between stable two parents in a family and academic success and not getting involved in crime is pretty high. So this example, although made up, is pretty plausible. The examiner would see this and think, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And then, although very general, this research seems to suggest that having both parents in the family life is certainly beneficial. So you've got a summary, restatement of the example. Okay, so main idea 2. And secondly, although in the recent past it was considered a norm for women to bring up their children while the father or husband went to work, this is by now an outdated notion. So I'm talking about, you know, in the past, men went to work, but nowadays it's more common for them to be more involved. It has been seen that more men are taking time off work to help care for their children. Some going as far as becoming house husbands, in fact. A made-up example. For example, the US Department of Employment reported that in 2016, the number of men requesting paternity leave had risen by over 50% over the last 10 years. Now, I made this up, but it sounds plausible, so it would do. This would indicate that more men are actively embracing parenthood these days, as opposed to previous generations. So this is the cohesion part. Everything is interconnected, everything's linked. You've got your main ideas here, you've got them mentioned here, 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 here. And in conclusion, although women make the decision to have children, they do not have to be solely responsible for them. So I'm paraphrasing this again. I believe my opinion, because it says, you know, to what extent do you agree or not? I believe that both parents are needed in family life for welfare of the child. So that's the main idea 1. And then, in fact, more and more men are choosing to make the responsibility a joint effort. Main idea 2. Now, this is a little bit long, 354 words. That's not a problem if you can do it in 40 minutes. I mean, I did it in 10, but, you know, I should be able to do that. But this is just to give you an idea of how the cohesion, coherence of task achievement, what a high-scoring essay should look like. Now, obviously, there's more ways to write an essay, but this one works. I know it works because my students take the exam and they tell me that it works. You know, they all get 7, 7.5, 8, because this is what the examiners want. So now I'll leave this here so you can write it down or take a screenshot. but I'll put the files on my blog, and I'll put a link in the box so you can copy and paste them from there if you wish. So compare that with this one, and you can see there's a little bit of work that it needs. Okay, so that is it for now. If you've got any questions or anything, you can write to me. kev@prepareielts.com. And if you've got any essays that you want me to make a video of, you can send them over and I shall do so. So, great. I'll see you later.